So how do we discern the basic goods?
Well, early in one's life, maybe at the age of 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know, it's hard to reconstruct because our memories of these things are not usually very vivid. We come to, any of us, not at some predetermined time, but sometime come to understand general concepts like, say, knowledge, or it might be human life as such. But let's take knowledge. So you ask questions and you notice the other children asking questions and you notice that you can get answers, and answers satisfy the question but suggest new questions and so forth. And at a certain point, one just gets the understanding that there's knowledge. There's a whole field, an indefinite field of opportunity of questions being answered. It's the field of answers to all possible questions. Knowledge is possible. Now that's a general concept. Understanding that, I think, is quite distinct from understanding what then, but an understanding, further active understanding that I think normally follows almost immediately, but is logically quite distinct. That, namely, that knowledge is good. Knowledge is an opportunity. It's a benefit, and ignorance and mistake and muddle and superstition and confusion and so forth are bad. And this is not morally good, morally bad. It's just good, bad, humanly good, humanly bad. And so that's the grasp of a basic good, a basic value. That's us perceiving it, as you might say, although I'm wary of these visual metaphors because I think understanding is of its own kind, and the modern philosophy since say Hobbes, empiricist philosophy, greatly overvalues the metaphors of sense and sight over the intellectual act, which is not just an act of seeing, but we use the word seeing for it. See the point, understanding the point, which is not a matter of opening your eyes and looking. So that's the grasp of the first principles. Knowledge is a good to be pursued. And that to be is still not moral. It's just it's reasonable to pursue it, to be interested in it, to avoid what threatens it in the way of ignorance and muddle and so forth. And then you have these other basic insights into basic human goods, the good of human life itself, the good of friendship, of being in a harmonious, non-destructive relationship with other people, and a set, including in the end, I think, amongst these, the good of being in the right relationship to a transcendent source of everything, which has aspects of friendship but is different. Anyway, those, as I said, form a multiplicity, and so the question is, well, what do I do about all this? I can't do everything at once, and so I've got to have a sorting or prioritizing. And here's a second set of acts of understanding, not, I think, usually so vivid, because at this point cultures kick in a much more sort of proactive way, shaping us up with ideas of fairness. And justice and the promise keeping and not taking more than your share and so forth. So we help ourselves to those, and those are fully moral now. Those are moral ideas. This is the right way to pursue the basic goods, and there are wrong ways of pursuing the basic goods. And any intelligent action, including wicked actions, is going to be in some way in a pursuit of basic goods, but in a deformed way. Not fully reasonable, not fully responsive to all of them, and the fact that all of them are valuable in anyone's life.